Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Lab Podcast. I'm Jack, and joining me, as always, is the brilliant Angelina. Today, we're exploring a comprehensive approach to mastering both English speaking and listening skills simultaneously. Many learners treat these areas separately, but in reality, they complement and reinforce each other. Angelina, could you share why integrating listening and speaking is so crucial for fluency?
Hi, Jack. Absolutely. Speaking and listening are interconnected processes. When you listen attentively, your brain absorbs pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and the way native speakers use phrases naturally. This input is then reflected in your speech patterns. Likewise, frequent speaking practice strengthens the mental pathways that allow you to decode spoken English more efficiently. This mutual reinforcement accelerates overall language acquisition.
That's a crucial point. One of the first strategies I recommend is thinking in English rather than translating from your native language. Many learners hesitate because they mentally translate, which slows down response time and disrupts natural flow. Try to formulate thoughts directly in English. Describe your surroundings, your plans, or even your emotions internally. For example, narrate, "I stroll along the quiet riverside. The water glistens under the morning sun. Birds chirp melodiously, and a gentle breeze brushes my face." Regular practice like this develops mental agility and fluency.
Exactly. Adding sensory details enhances memory retention and engagement. For instance, instead of saying, "I went shopping," you could say, "I wandered through the bustling market, inhaling the aroma of fresh pastries, noticing the colorful vegetable stands, and enjoying the chatter of friendly vendors." This immersive approach helps learners internalize sentence structures naturally and also prepares the ear for similar expressions when listening to native speakers.
Another highly effective method is shadowing. This involves listening to a native speaker through podcasts, interviews, or dialogues and repeating exactly what they say, mimicking pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Shadowing accelerates acquisition of authentic speech patterns and enhances both listening recognition and speaking confidence.
And it's important not to focus excessively on mistakes during shadowing. The emphasis should be on fluency, stress, and natural flow, not perfection. Accuracy improves over time as your mind, ear, and mouth synchronize.
Now let's talk about embracing errors confidently. Fear of making mistakes often prevents learners from speaking, but remember, each mistake is an opportunity to learn. Speaking imperfectly while listening actively actually reinforces your comprehension and expressive abilities.
That's so true. Vocabulary acquisition also plays a vital role. Learn words contextually, not in isolation. Understanding synonyms, idioms, and nuanced expressions allows you to recognize and use them appropriately. Instead of repeatedly using happy, explore alternatives like delighted, overjoyed, ecstatic, or thrilled beyond measure. Contextual learning enriches both listening comprehension and speaking expression.
Another practical tip is engaging in self-conversation exercises. Ask yourself questions like, "What are my plans for today?" Or, "What do I think about that news?" And answer aloud in English. This cultivates spontaneous thinking and strengthens the connection between listening to your own voice and formulating sentences fluently.
Storytelling is equally indispensable. Share personal experiences or imagine vivid scenarios. Yesterday, I walked through a hidden garden. The scent of jasmine lingered in the air. Children laughed nearby, and the sun dipped behind tall trees, casting golden hues. Storytelling develops memory, creativity, and fluency, while simultaneously training the ear to recognize descriptive language in real conversations.
Listening exercises should include repetition and varied focus. First, listen for general understanding. Then, focus on specific vocabulary or idiomatic expressions. Finally, pay attention to tone, stress, and rhythm. Layered listening solidifies comprehension deeply, much like stacking building blocks.
Incorporating linking words and filler expressions is crucial. Terms like actually, basically, or well connect ideas, making speech natural. Recognizing these during listening improves understanding, and using them in speaking enhances authenticity.
Never overlook the importance of gestures and body language. Even during solo practice, moving your hands or facial expressions reinforces memory and aids pronunciation. Gestures also act as cues for both listening comprehension and speaking fluency.
Reading aloud complements listening skills. Choose stories, articles, or dialogues and read them expressively. This develops intonation, articulation, and rhythm, while your ear internalizes the patterns for real conversations.
Setting incremental goals is key. Start with short daily sessions, gradually increase duration, and record yourself. Reviewing playback helps identify improvements, mistakes, and patterns to focus on. Recognizing small wins boosts motivation and reinforces neural pathways for language acquisition.
Engaging in real conversations with peers or mentors is irreplaceable. Real-time interaction trains comprehension and expressive abilities simultaneously. The unpredictability of live conversation prepares the mind to process speech naturally.
Chunking phrases is another effective technique. Instead of forming sentences word by word, group words into meaningful chunks. For example, I am going to the market to buy fresh vegetables can be mentally processed as 2 or 3 chunks. This reduces hesitation and improves rhythm, aiding both speaking and listening comprehension.
Paraphrasing enhances flexibility. Rephrase simple sentences. I was tired. I felt drained. I was completely exhausted. This practice boosts both recognition during listening and spontaneity in speech.
Recording and playback is indispensable. Listening critically helps identify pronunciation issues, unnatural expressions, or repeated errors. This dual approach strengthens listening acuity and speaking clarity.
Anticipating conversation flow is vital. Predicting questions or responses minimizes pauses and enhances real-time comprehension. Practicing predictive listening helps learners respond fluently and naturally.
Role-playing real-life scenarios, ordering food, giving directions, interviews, bridges listening and speaking. Practicing contextually reduces anxiety and enhances authentic communication.
Idioms and phrasal verbs elevate language skills. Understanding expressions like break the ice or hit the nail on the head improves listening comprehension, while using them in conversation enriches speaking authenticity.
Daily immersion is crucial. Surround yourself with English through reading, listening, thinking, and speaking. Short, frequent sessions are more effective than irregular long ones. Consistent exposure embeds language naturally in the mind.
Mistakes are stepping stones, not failures. Every attempt strengthens comprehension, memory, and expression. Patience, persistence, and curiosity are essential to mastery.
To summarize, effective mastery requires thinking in English, shadowing native speakers, engaging in storytelling, practicing paraphrasing, using contextual vocabulary, predictive listening, chunking phrases, recording and reviewing, role-playing immersion, and consistent daily practice. This holistic approach develops both fluent speaking and natural listening simultaneously.
Remember, every word you speak or hear contributes to progress. Be bold, stay curious, and enjoy the journey. English mastery is gradual but immensely rewarding.
Thank you, Angelina, for your comprehensive insights. Listeners, start applying these strategies immediately. Fluency and comprehension will grow naturally with dedication.
Farewell, everyone! Listen actively, speak confidently, and let your English skills flourish.
That concludes this extensive full-length episode of Talk Lab Podcast. Keep practicing, stay persistent, and remember, true fluency begins with careful listening and grows through expressive speaking.